ATK's sworn enemies are KTA, which stands for Kill Them All. Not very friendly, that, is it? Just like ATK has its origins in the Youngin gang, it's been said that KTA has its roots in a more organized crew of OG Jacksonville gangsters called PCE, or Problem Child Entertainment. Now, this is a legit gang that was really dismantled in a 2017 RICO case. This saw over 10 senior members from the PCE operation facing racketeering charges for multiple counts of murder and firearms offenses. Now, this group had actually attracted a significant amount of attention from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office following a tragic January 2016 incident when a 22-month-old baby, Aiden McClendon, was sadly killed after being sat in the baby seat of a car that was targeted in a drive-by shooting. The police were able to connect those bullets that killed that baby to the PCE crime organization, and both of the shooters in this case were convicted of murder. 2 guilty verdicts were read, one for Henry Hayes and one for Kwame Richardson, who were tried separately. Prosecutors say both were targeting a rival gang member when 22-month-old Aiden McClendon was shot and killed while he was sitting in a car with his mother on the city's east side. But to make things even more crazy, it's been suggested that that 22-month-old baby that was killed was actually a direct relative of Whopper with a Chopper and Spinner Benz. But anyway, regardless of that, with this kind of fuck shit going down in the streets affecting 22-month-old children, it's no surprise that the Jacksonville cops ended up cracking down hard on PCE. But growing up in the midst of the budding gang wars on the streets of Jacksonville is a young rapper by the name of Foolio, aka Julio Foolio, aka Lil Six. Now, this nickname is derived from the 6 or 6 block in Jacksonville where Foolio hails from, a territory apparently stretching from 45th and Moncrief up to Avenue B, with Foolio specifically hailing from the Hilltop Village apartments. Now, this area is the north side of Jacksonville, the area which Foolio says is also the most violent part of the city.
I'm from the north side of Jacksonville, 1646 West 45th Street, Bricks, 6. Yeah, that's the most violent side of Jacksonville.
Now, Foolio is considered the most hated rapper in Florida, and it's easy to see why when you consider how he came up. Foolio said that he had to buy his very first gun for protection when he was in just the 7th grade, because apparently he was already beefing with grown men with bigger guns.
A nigga got his first gun in motherfucking 7th grade, 6th going to 7th, the Deuce 5, so after that, it was a wrap. We'll always beefing with grown, older niggas, so shit, they always had the advantage and shit of us. Like, they always had the guns and the cars to pull up on us, and you feel me? We ain't never had that shit.
Foolio's upbringing seems like it was nothing but pain. In fact, his father was murdered when Foolio was only 13 years old, being shot in the head twice in a brutal attack. Apparently retribution after a man that Foolio's father had beaten up a month before came to get back. Foolio even said that he witnessed his first murder at close range at the young age of 12.
Problems, I saw a nigga get shot in this shit, but this was in my other dog, this was in West Jackson. I was probably like 12 years old. He beat the shit though, my dog Boo Boo, but yeah, point blank range, nigga. I was 12 years old saying that type shit though, that shit went nuts.
Apparently, Foolio also got shot in the leg getting off the school bus, age 50.
We getting out the bus and shit. I ain't thinking nothing of it though. I got my uniform on, books, man. I ain't thinking nothing of it. I'm like, it's a regular day. This my first day of school. Mind you not, this my first day getting, cause I got kicked out of school, another school for fighting. So this my first day in the alternative school. So boom, nigga ran through the cut when the shooting. I got hit on my motherfucking hip one time.
So having described Jacksonville as a literal war zone, then it's no surprise to find out that apparently Foolio had lost around 15 friends to gun violence before he had even turned 20. In fact, you'll hear Foolio telling his deceased friends to rest up in his music frequently. Names like Vontae, Kendre, and Newski pop up in Foolio's music frequently, but thankfully, being forced to literally dodge bullets on the way to school in the morning as a kid didn't dampen Foolio's spirit. Apparently, he was always a charismatic young spitter and was apparently rapping his entire childhood despite the violence going on around him.
I always been a rapper, like, that's just been me, a rapping that nigga. Like, I always know how to rap, so I would do it.
The first song of Foolio's that got a few 100,000 views was the track Coming Up, and off the back of the success of that song, he would drop mixtapes like Who I Am, before leveling up with the sequel called Industry Invasion. Over time, Foolio would gradually pick up a bigger buzz and more attention in the industry, eventually landing in the studio with some big-name producers. Most notably, Atlanta legend Zaytoven, creating bangers like How You Do It, and the fully Zaytoven-produced mixtape 6 Toven. Now, we'll cover the specific and significant music music releases as they pop up during the beef, but for now, let's just focus who's affiliated with Foolio and his 6 Block crew. Also hailing from the 6, no Drizzy, is Foolio's longtime friend and frequent collaborator Kojak. There's Foolio's blood cousin Zion Brown, aka Tweaking Jit or TJ. There's Tiki, aka T Shots, Trey D, aka 8, K Shorty, Spaz 2 times, not to be confused with Spaz from ATK, Lil PD, aka 35, Foolio's Young G Bibby, and Dirk, another close friend of Foolio's who was murdered all the way back in 2014 as part of that PCE beef. So that's the majority of Foolio and his 6 Block outlined. But as time and beef went on in Jacksonville, the KTA crew formed out of 6 Block and a few other Jacksonville crews that were all beefing with KTA crews. This includes an affiliated crew from a hood called Vonterland, which includes blocks such as Callaway Cove, the Washington Heights Apartments, and Ken Knight Drive. And Vonterland is where Foolio's friend Rod K is from. You've also got A Block, which really just refers to the Arlington area in Jacksonville, an area which is geographically in the east of Jacksonville, but considered the south side by the people that live there. And now this brings us to the Y&R crew. Sometimes referred to as Dankway or A Block in the past, Y&R is an Arlington-based squad of extremely feared gangsters in Jacksonville, with many of the following members having been associated with, but for the record not proven to have been involved with a lot of the more serious altercations between these two crews. You've got people like Y&R Mookie, Cho, Bree, Lil Ron, Y&R Slugger T, who for the record, being one of the only white guys involved with these crews, seems to attract some pretty crazy and kind of funny comments online. For the record, I think Y&R Slugger T looks like a pretty tough guy who looks right at home in Y&R, and for the record, I also do not want any problems. Anywho, also repping these parts is Baby 9, aka Juju, Lil 9, and Mr. Beatbox himself, Spot 'em Got 'em, who's apparently originally from Lackawanna on Jacksonville's west side, but he's known to rep Arlington, showing love to his set by spending one of the early bags that he got on this bust down Y&R chain. And funnily enough, on the day of recording this, I just found out that he apparently dropped that chain off a jet ski. Anyway.
Another piece, man.
30 ball in the fucking water.
30 ball in the water, bro.
Like I said before, that's not everybody that's associated with Foolio, 6 Block, or KTA, but just some important faces that are going to be relevant for this story. And just for the record, so that it's super easy for you guys to understand, Arlington is from A Block, which is considered the south side of Jacksonville. Foolio is from 6 Block, considered the north side of Jacksonville, most dangerous side, so that's north and south under KTA territory. You've got Youngin Ace, who is originally from the west side, but eventually ATK ended up including a lot of people and crews from the east side too. So basically what you got going on in Jacksonville is north and south beefing with east and west. I hope that makes it a bit easier to understand. So now you know the people involved, the turf being fought over, and the history of crime in the city, you're ready to take a closer look at why these two groups started feuding and how this became one of the most deadly feuds in rap history.